Well, howdy ho there. Good to see you again. The amount of surprising movies I saw in 2023 is a pretty vast amount. I won't be covering them thoroughly. It's been maybe a few months, even a year for some of these movies too. These are a list of movies that surprised me the most in 2023. First up on the list, and this may not be surprising to all of you, but it sure as shit was surprising to me. It's John Wick Chapter 4. Now before you get surprised on how I'm surprised that John Wick Chapter 4 surprised me, let me explain. I don't know any other series that ups the ante and gets better and better with every sequel that gets added into the series. From the first to the fourth one, as it progresses, you have more action, better action, the set pieces and the atmosphere grows, and you really feel like the lore of the world expands. There's still more behind the curtain to be seen, and I hope there's a fifth installment. This man was injured throughout the second and the third movie. This man was at the lowest health bar he could have possibly been at, and he was still taking names. The best pieces that I enjoyed was this staircase action scene where he's fighting all the way to the top and then he gets knocked down and tumbles down the stairs, so he has to reset back again. Another scene I liked was when they give this bird's eye view and it's this Hotline Miami sort of camera work going on, and you just see him taking people out from up top in the ceiling, and it looks, I swear, I'll put Hotline Miami here, I'll put John Wick 4 here, and you can just compare that and see what I'm talking about. Shooting this dragon's breath shotgun, which are bullets that engulf people in flames. It's pretty fucking crazy what this movie does. What I love about the John Wickiverse, if we can call it that, it's very simple to get into. It's not something complicated. There's no heavy lore behind it. You don't have to read any books about it to get into it. You just need to know that this guy, his wife died and left him a dog in the first movie. And he just wanted to lay low and chill in life and find happiness. And these fuckers killed his dog, and now he's back in action. You could come from any part of the world, you can have any point of view, and you could still understand where this man is coming from. That alone justifies his whole revenge journey and every body he's laying down in order to get revenge. I'm an action movie fanatic, so if you know any action movies, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I'll be happy to watch over them. I love The Raid 2. Holy shit, Old Boy. If you guys haven't seen those 3 movies I just mentioned and you love action movies, go do yourselves a favor and go handle that. If you love the hands Mr. Wick is passing out, wait till you see the hands thrown out in the Raid movies. It's insane.
Hello. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
The creator. The first 2 minutes of this movie gave me Fallout 3 vibes for some reason. Retro yet futuristic aesthetic that they were going for that really sold me. As this montage and the introductions going on, they immediately blindside you by dropping a nuke on Los Angeles and blaming AI, and thus this leads you into this story where you're being told about a war going on between humans and AI. And at the current state that we are right now in the world, I felt like these guys are striking the iron while it's hot. Everyone's talking about AI, and this movie shows a pretty realistic future down the road of where AI can lead to. For the budget that this movie was given, the effects in it are amazing. Every time the Nomad appeared on screen, let me explain what that is. The Nomad is this giant ship that the humans created in this movie to zone in on where AI and robots are located so they could drop nukes down on them. Every time that vessel appeared on screen, I knew shit was gonna go down. Same deal as before. I saw all these movies in 40X, so when that ship appeared and it started targeting in on locations where it's gonna drop a bomb, I was getting whiplash left and right. It makes you wonder where all this money is going into the movies with quadruple, triple, double this movie's budget, and they end up being ass. I haven't given out any awards to movies, but this movie gets my sci-fi movie of the year for 2023. I gotta give credit to where it's due on the special effects, man. The team went crazy. But watch the creator.
Jess, he's alive. Hey, I'm coming. Hey, Bobby.
Hey. Thanksgiving. Before I go into this, did anybody think there was going to be an actual good movie based on a holiday of Thanksgiving? Me neither. But I gotta give it to Eli Roth. He somehow pulled it off. Not only a horror movie about Thanksgiving, a slasher film about Thanksgiving. It was pretty damn good. I brought myself, Tina, my brother and his friend along to watch this movie just because I wanted to see other people's reaction along with mine. The first 10 minutes of the movie solidified and confirmed, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this one. Once the movie started and it showed us people going crazy for Black Friday sales as they do in real life, I immediately knew, yep, I'm gonna like this movie. I love Hostel Part 1, Hostel Part 2. I'm kind of getting to know Eli Roth's style. There's gonna be scalps being ripped off. There's gonna be people puking. There's gonna be people being gagged. There's gonna be skin peeling off. I already knew what I was getting myself into. The movie's very creative with its killings. Given it's a Thanksgiving themed movie, it does add an interesting layer of atmosphere that the serial killer can take. This could just be my dark humor talking, but I found the movie surprisingly humorous. You'll see what I mean in the first 15 minutes. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? But it's a good watch. Not too long too. One of the killings in the movie definitely kind of left a weird taste in my mouth. I won't be looking at turkeys the same way.
That's 90 seconds.
Nah, let the fucking
Nah,
go
man,
on me.
please.
Tell me get this fucking thing
Nah,
off.
man, please, it's cold in here, man.
Get him the fuck off of me.
It's 90 seconds.
Come on, man, I gotta lick you or something.
Don't fucking lick me.
Talk to me. You gotta give it to A24, man. These guys can really create an atmosphere and they know what they're doing with these movies. Before we even get started, this movie gets horror movie of 2023 because holy smokes, there's very few movies that can make me feel uneasy, and there's very few movies that leave me thinking at night, and they keep me up at night at that. Man, this movie just brought uncomfortable thoughts into my head. It essentially revolves around this group of friends that attend this party, and there's rumors about this ceramic hand that people are using to talk to the dead. And it becomes somewhat of a viral sensation in this movie, so a lot of people want to try it, and the main character tries it, and she gets kind of hooked on it. And holy shit, is it a downward spiral after that. People are kind of just recording this thing going on without even realizing, wait, what are we doing? This film definitely has one of the most scariest possession scenes I've seen. Poor kid. The kid in this movie definitely gets an award, and the makeup artists get a gold star because they made this kid look fucked up after an accident, and it looks real. There's this depiction of hell that they gave about halfway towards the film. When that scene played, I looked at Tina and I was like, why? Why am I watching this? And the ending of it, oh my gosh, the ending brought it full circle. And it's a short runtime too. I love these short and sweet movies. I love movies that can deliver a good oomph within an hour and a half. And yeah, you should watch Talk to Me.
Hold up. Baby, we were crying. That's right. I get so excited. Oh, how I
Leave the world behind. Now this movie scratched the conspiracy theorist part of my brain real good because man did I really love this movie. Out of all the apocalyptic movies I've seen, I have to pin this one as the most accurate and realistic way it would ever go down, should it go down. And then once you see the executive producers of this movie, you're kind of like, wait a minute, where did you get this information from and why are you contributing to this? If you're somewhat of a conspiracy nut as myself, you'll probably thoroughly enjoy this movie as well too. It has everything from the downfall of self-driving cars to sonar frequencies being used to give you migraines and make you sick, which already happened in Cuba, by the way. Once this movie started talking about cabals and shadow governments and all this dark lore behind the world that we live in, I was like, yep, this movie's going on the list. This is an amazing film so far. It shows you how much of our world heavily relies on technology just for day-to-day tasks. Technology could be our greatest friend and our worst adversary at times. The end shot of the film showing the city is just being bombed and nuked and how everyone is against each other really ties a bow on the whole apocalyptic scenario. It's very scary to think about how accurate this movie may be in a potential future we might be heading towards. Well, since we're passing out awards to these movies, this movie gets Apocalyptic Movie of the Year for sure. And I love how the ending shows how physical media is the true winner of them all. You have the youngest daughter in the movie just trying to finish the last Friends episode that she has left. And she can't watch it anymore because the internet's down. She can't stream it anymore. But by the end of the movie, she ends up in a bunker. And someone has the physical disc of the Friends season she's looking for. And she pops it in and she's finally able to live out her dream and finish the Friends series. Godzilla -1. What can I say about this movie that hasn't been said already? Definitely the best Godzilla film I've ever seen. Many people aren't a fan of subtitles. The reading and then watching the movie may be too much for people. I promise you there's so much emotion in this film, and the lines are delivered with such impact that if you're not a fan of subtitles, this movie will cure that problem for you. I'm very glad I got to see this movie in theaters. I didn't see any trailers for it in theaters. I saw a trailer for it on YouTube just randomly in December, and I was like, shit, Godzilla movie? I'm a simple man. I see Godzilla movie trailer, I buy Godzilla movie ticket. It made the most boring part of Godzilla films to me the most interesting parts. I hated when these monster movies would cut to the humans, but in this one you care about these humans. So the city is already recovering from a recent war event that devastated the lands, and here comes this big old fucking lizard stomping shit out and causing havoc again. And dude, when Godzilla's atomic breath started charging up, this movie alone shows you why that move is called atomic breath. It causes a nuke in the city and everything just gets leveled, and you feel for the main characters. Rather than the other films, you don't really care if people get disposed of or if people get stomped on. But in this movie, there's so much emotion and line delivery given in these roles that you just want to see these people make it out of it. You want to see Godzilla get taken down. When they start gathering together and forming a plan to take down this giant thing, you're rooting for them. There was not one point in this movie that I was not interested in. I was enjoying the human scenes more than the Godzilla scenes. Not that I wasn't enjoying the Godzilla scenes, but you'll really feel the love for the humans in this movie. That buildup is insane. It goes at a pace where you can tell this man is charging up to fuck shit up. Even if you're not a Godzilla fan, go watch this. I'll be damned if this wasn't a personal favorite for half of the human population out there. Now I'm hyped up to go see Godzilla and Kong. I have a bunch more, but I'm not trying to make this a 20-minute video, so I'll just rule these off as honorable mentions. These aren't ranked in any type of order whatsoever. We had Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Jake Gyllenhaal, for some reason, can play any role handed at him, and he plays every role handed to him very well. Brother in Arms movies. Well-paced action. It's Guy Ritchie. I mean, that's kind of all you need to know. Beau is Afraid. It's a very crazy movie. And by the end of it, you're kind of wondering, what did I just watch for 2.5 hours? But in a good way. It hits you with very surprising visual effects. You're trying to piece together the story that's being laid out in front of you symbolically. If you're able to decipher this movie upon the first viewing, hey man, good on you. I had to watch like an explanation video to understand what's going on. Barbie, of course. I saw Barbie. Who didn't see Barbie? Who didn't see Oppenheimer? Barbenheimer. It was a very funny movie. A lot of people talk about Margot Robbie being an amazing Barbie, and that is true. But I felt like Ryan Gosling as Ken kind of stole the show in every scene he was in. He was hilarious. He had his own song piece. Will Ferrell played an amazing corporate Hasbro manager, I think. The retirement plan. I don't know who renewed Nicolas Cage's contract to come out in a bunch of movies, but man, keep him coming. I love the man, and he's a great actor, playing a retired hitman, but he's still kicking ass. There is one scene in it with weird CGI visual effects that are like iMovie worthy, but other than that, pretty good film. Oh, The Killer was very good too. Michael Fassbender in the movie where he's playing a hitman. Who would have thought that was a great idea? Apparently David Fincher. While this isn't a hitman movie, I'd very much like to compare this movie to the Hitman video games, the recent ones at least. The way the movie is given to you in chapters. Every time he's assigned a new target, there's this font that appears on screen, and every time that popped up, I was like, wow, this is like a Hitman mission. And this movie had one of the best action scenes I've ever seen, and it was unexpected. It was when our protagonist is going up against Florida Man, this big old drug dealer brute, and they just have an amazing fight. And that's kind of all I got. I like talking about movies, so keep them coming, Hollywood. If you guys would like to see these be done on movies that I watch throughout the year, let me know. I'll be happy to watch a movie and talk about it immediately after. It lets me talk about it in detail too, as it'll be fresh on my mind, rather than talk about it 9 or 10 months later with very little memory of it. Thanks for watching again.